So I'm here at Indiecade 2014, Indiecade East to be specific, in New York City, and I'm standing here with the developer of Choice Chamber. Good sir, what's your name?
Michael.
Pleasure to meet you, Michael.
You too.
Now, can you tell me a little bit about your game, Choice Chamber?
Yeah, this is Choice Chamber, a game designed from the ground up to be played live on Twitch, streamed on the internet, and anyone watching the game can type in the chat room and affect the game in real time as you're playing through.
So it's very interesting. So is it kind of like the Twitch Plays Pokemon experiment that we saw a while back, or is this different?
It's similar in that any number of people can just watch and play along, except here you have another human on the other end trying to play through a game and not get a game over at all, while people in the chat can decide how easy or hard that is.
So that's very interesting. So let's say somebody has a bone to pick with you, then they can start making the game more and more difficult.
Absolutely.
Okay, so how does this work? Do they vote somehow?
Yeah, there's a series of prompts that appear in the game, and that lets them know what it is that they're changing in the game, whether it be through a vote or if they're changing some aspect of the game in real time. And no matter what it is, the game displays that to the player and the chat, so everyone's clear on what is changing, because things are constantly changing, rules and obstacles and perks and things like that.
Well, that's very interesting. So what kind of games inspired the platforming in Choice Chamber?
Games that inspired it? Well, it was kind of an idea that I got on my own. I wanted a game that could be played on Twitch that involved chat, because a lot of streamers on Twitch say, don't help me, or no backseat gaming, as they say, because they want to play a game
without being told what to do.
Because it's no fun if you tell someone the solution to a puzzle or how to beat a boss or anything like that. And so I was like, let's make a game where they're encouraged to say as much as possible to kind of play a game together, and that's where it all started from.
So interesting. So it's a game that's more designed around democracy.
At the moment, there's times when they can go against each other as well. But for the most part, I try and keep it more calm than chaotic.
Interesting. So what's been your biggest challenge making something like this?
The biggest challenge is that it's never been done before. There's nothing to compare it to. The type of game it is nothing fancy. I purposely made that a very familiar type of game, so that part people would understand very clearly. But the interesting part, of course, is the live interaction mechanic, and no other game did it before me, and since I started over a year ago, no game has really done it as well. And so I'm still by myself. I think they're all kind of waiting for this game to come out to see if it's worthwhile for them to put their resources into it, so I'm kind of in control of whether or not the genre grows or not.
That sounds very interesting. So what has been your favorite part of making this thus far?
My favorite part is seeing human psychology in its raw form. You get to see how the human mind empathizes with you and sometimes wants to be a troll, and it's almost a roller coaster, right? They want to be mean, but then they realize you're dying too much and you get a game over, so they make it easier. But then surviving for too long, they keep doing this. No matter who's playing, it's always the exact thing over and over long periods of time, so the same thing happening. No matter how many people are playing, kids, adults, whatever.
That's very interesting. So now, have you made any other games besides Choice Chamber in the past?
Yes, as an independent studio, this is my third title, but I've made about 50 games in my 15 years or so. Like free games, game jam games, weekend games, week-long games, what have you. Projects for school, things like that.
Oh, that's very interesting. Yeah. So now I have to ask everybody this. What's your favorite game of all time?
My favorite game of all time, Mario Brothers 3 for NES.
No, wait, Super Mario Brothers 3. SMB3.
It's a short name.
Yeah. Well, okay, yeah. I just wanted to make sure, because I'm like, wait, did I miss it? Okay.
Super Mario Brothers 3, official title.
So what's your biggest fear of Choice Chamber?
Fear?
Yes.
Well, the hard stuff's out of the way. I mean, we've proven that the technology works and people are interested in it. And that's kind of the only big question mark of the game. As far as whether it does well or does poor, it already had a successful Kickstarter in March of last year. And so maybe the fear is that no one's going to buy the game because they're already backed it. And then once I launch like 1.0, everyone has it, they need to buy it again.
So does Choice Chamber work on a smaller scale? Let's just say just you and like a group of buddies. You all get together, bring your laptops, have one guy playing it on a big screen. Could just a few people play it on Twitch?
It actually works better the less people there are, because you probably know them, A, and B, they have way more weight on the votes, or at least for the voting portion. And the decisions that are made by these few people, so you kind of build a little community. And there's hundreds of people. There's people who have played for thousands in their chat room on Twitch, and it's just chaos. You can't get to know anyone on a personal level. And so we're doing things to combat that, but for the most part, the smaller the better. And yes, everyone can play. They don't even need laptops. You can just play from the Twitch app, and you wouldn't use much bandwidth. It's just the chat room, and so they're just watching it.
That's very cool.
Like that, so it'll be easier for people who have smartphones. So you can use a laptop too.
So let's say, I'd just like to know, so which platforms is this coming out to?
PC and Mac.
Okay, Mac and PC. Now, is it on Steam yet?
It is not. I'm going to wait for 1.0 for that. I'm not going to do early access or anything like that. It's currently available for pre-order at choicechamber.com, and that's through Humble Bundle. So you'll get your links through Humble. We do monthly beta releases with all the new things that have been added and changed and all those things like that. So we're at the 5th beta right now, and there shouldn't be too many more until the games come out.
Very cool. Now, do you have a way that you document the changes, or?
Yeah, there's a changelog website.
Okay.
At choicechamber.com, there's links to everything, so you can click beta and it shows you the entire history of changes.
It sounds very cool. I'm going to have to check this one out when I get back home. It's been a pleasure talking with you, man.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoy the rest of your Indiecade.
Thank you. You too.